everybody, welcome back. I'm sorry it has been forever since I put up a video, but I'm finally back in the swing of things, and I'm still traveling a ton, so I'm trying to film a whole lot in one weekend so that I can then continue to edit and get everything up and be on a more regular schedule than I was coming out of the holidays. Travel is just top of mind right now because I've been doing a ton of it. I was actually in San Francisco last weekend.
This is a weekend where I'm finally in Dallas, and then I'm off to Austin in the week, New York on the weekend, and then back to Austin, and then finally back to Dallas.
And I've also been battling a cold. So as you can see, my nose is really red, and I'm sorry, I tried to cover it up, but it's not working. So we're just gonna move past that. Because travel has been top of mind, I thought that it would be really good to sit down and film a video about things that I never travel without. Since I've been traveling a ton for work, I feel like I've got this really good formula down for like a 3 to 4 day trip. And so I wanted to share with you things that go in my carry-on. I rarely ever check a bag. Let's just start. I don't have a defined number. We'll just see where we fall out at the end of this video, because once I started writing down ideas, I just couldn't stop because I was like, crap, there are so many things that I never travel without. But I also want to do a companion video that's things that I never travel with, because I think that some of those things will surprise you. The first thing, and something that I feel like we all need to be doing more of right now, is drink more water. So something that I never travel without is a little water bottle. Typically when I'm traveling for work, I bring a water bottle to work every day that I refill constantly throughout the day. This one is a really good size. This is one of those BKR or beaker bottles that I got in a FabFitFun back in the summer, I think. And this has just been my little travel companion. It's glass, and so I know that it holds up really well. It's very thick, and it has the silicone outside layer that I like to wipe down too with like a disinfectant pad and stuff periodically, and it cleans really easily and really well. So a water bottle is definitely something that's always in my carry-on. Of course it's empty, because remember, you cannot get on a plane with a full water bottle. I mean, you can't go through security with a full water bottle because they'll make you dump it out or throw it away or something. So be sure that this is empty when you go through the TSA line. But after that, you can, find a refillable water fountain or something where you work or where you're traveling, because this also cuts down on the cost of what you might spend on a trip. So if you, for instance, are at Disney World and you don't want to buy a million water bottles and you bring a backpack to the parks every day, this is a really, really good thing to have on hand to save a couple dollars every day. I always travel with like a rolling suitcase and then some over-the-shoulder tote. So the second thing that I want to mention is that tote. And over-the-shoulder is something that is extremely important. I recently traveled with a little it's like a little duffel bag, but it doesn't have an over-the-shoulder strap. It was just the two straps like this. And it fit awkwardly on top of my suitcase, so I couldn't travel with it that way. And then holding it, it was so heavy, and it was like bumping against my legs when I was taking steps, and it was just miserable. So I've decided over-the-shoulder bags are the way to go for me, at least. And so I actually ended up getting this one for Christmas from my friend Rhea. This is Rifle Paper Company. I have a whole video about Rifle Paper Company and how much I love Anna Bond and that company. Anyway, this is super cute, and this is a really large tote. So the rule when you travel, FYI, in case maybe it's something you don't do often, is you can only have 2 personal items. So that means your full rolling suitcase and one other thing. Your purse counts as that. So it's, choose very wisely when you go to choose your purse for a vacation. And that's the next thing I'm going to mention, but definitely an over-the-shoulder tote to be my second carry-on item. Within this tote, I typically put the water bottle. And I also strategically choose a small purse. So this is something else that I got for Christmas this year, because I realized I did not have a purse small enough, and I always have to shove it in my backpack if I'm traveling with my work backpack, or shove it in this tote if I'm traveling for leisure or for fun. I looked and looked and looked, and there were a lot of different ones out there, but I decided to go with classic black leather. So this is one from J. Crew. If this is still available, which I think it is, I'll definitely link it below, because my mom loved this when she purchased it, and she was just like, I'm so happy you picked this out. And it has this cute little snakeskin detailing. You can actually buy, every different color comes with a different little tassel thing, but you can buy these and change them out interchangeably. But I really like the snakeskin, and it's just a really small little purse that fits perfectly in your carry-on. It's structured, and it really fits a lot. I mean, I have a lot going on in here, and it is not organized, but that is all on me. Okay. Get a small purse to travel with, because that way it's easy to shove down into that second carry-on, and you can really maximize the amount of things that you can bring if you don't want to check a bag. All right. Another thing I got for Christmas, but I used to travel with another version of this before I got these, is a good pair of headphones. So Brian actually got me these Bose headphones for Christmas, and since then I've had to travel, like when I was coming home for Christmas, when I went to San Francisco, like I've used them nonstop, and I really love them. So they're white, and they have this little tan leather detail. And while these are not marketed as completely noise canceling, they actually do a wonderful job of keeping that horrible airplane hum out of your ears. So you can hear your TV shows really clearly, you can hear your music really clearly, and even for my small head, like they fit really well. They have designated on the inside, you can see like right and left. And it turns on and it's a Bluetooth headphone. So when you're traveling, you can put these on, you know, after you scan your boarding pass to get on the plane, and you can put your suitcase up and get all settled in your seat without being tangled up by your earphones. So I told him when he was asking me like, what's your biggest priority with headphones? Is it the wireless or is it the noise canceling? And I went with wireless because my brother actually has this same pair, and he was like, you know, a good point is that you don't want it to be completely noise canceling because it's nice to be able to hear when they come on the speaker on the airplane, or, you know, somebody taps you on the shoulder because they want to slide in your row. So while they're not completely noise canceling, they definitely have a quality about them that still makes it very, you know, like less noisy. I've been really into watching The Crown lately, and so I flew through like 7 episodes with these on the plane and was able to hear great. Another cool feature about them is that they charge by USB, and since my carry-on suitcase that I use for my away luggage, it has like a charging port with a USB. I can charge these in the airport if they're running low on battery, and I can accept calls while wearing the Bluetooth headphones. So I really can't say enough good things. This is one of my favorite things that I got for Christmas this year. So big thank you to Brian. So definitely get some pair of headphones. I mean, if you're somebody that likes to listen to music or something on the plane. Now, if you're not, if you're a reader, which I am too sometimes, I'll put on like movie score playlist and listen to that while I read, so it doesn't have words or anything, but it's just something to get the rest of the airplane out of my head. So if you're like me and you refuse to check a bag because you're extremely stubborn, dependent upon the length of your trip, I recommend packing cubes. I got these as a FabFitFun add-on, and I'll tag this brand. It's the My Tagalongs brand, and I've really enjoyed these. At first I was like, man, like is it really gonna improve the amount of space in your suitcase? The answer is yes. I was definitely skeptical, but I tend to put all of my clothes in this size packing cube. So once you fit all your clothes in here, when it zips shut, it really compresses your clothes and allows extra room on the sides for you to slip things like maybe an extra pair of shoes, your toothbrush, your hairbrush, all those little things that tend to float around in your suitcase anyway. But it could also create extra room if you maybe buy something on your trip and you want to stuff that in the little corners or something. It really does compress things. So I actually have them in different sizes. So for this size, one time I was in a wedding and I had to travel to Colorado for that wedding, and I put my bridesmaid's dress in this, and it actually kept it pretty wrinkle free, surprisingly, even though it was all folded up. And I have an even smaller one that I use to put, you know, a second pair of shoes. So if I end up using that packing cube for something different later, it's this like, you know, synthetic, I don't know what type of material this is. It feels sort of like a parachute. And so I just take a disinfectant wipe and wipe it down if I want to use it for some type of clothing or something like that later on, so I'm not spreading the germs all in my clothes. The next thing that I truly cannot travel without is this little cosmetic organizer. Now, I did an entire video about this and how I pack it and what I typically bring with me on trips, which should probably be refilmed and updated because I feel like I pack different things now. Like I'm a more strategic packer, and I pack, you know, fewer makeup options and stuff like that, just because I know myself, and what I was packing in that video maybe was not as efficient. So maybe that's another video I'll do. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see that. Otherwise, I'll link the existing video below. But anyway, what this is a little train case or something like that from Target. You open up this one section and you have an area to put all of your toiletries up here, an area for makeup brushes. As you can see, it's a little dirty. And I tried to wipe this out relatively recently and it didn't get that clean. And then you have this extra pocket down below where you can put your makeup, the bigger you know, carry-on items that sort of fit down here. Most of the time, this stays pretty packed. The only additional things that I have to add are the makeup brushes and then the makeup that I use every day. So I really cannot travel without this. This is a one-stop shop for everything I need in the bathroom. So when I go and unpack, this just stays in the bathroom the whole time, and when I'm done, I zip it up and throw it in my suitcase and I'm done. It's so easy. So if this is still available, I'll link it because you need it, or something like it, because this has seriously made such a difference in my packing. Because I'm traveling so often, there's no need for me to completely unpack. So things that I can never travel without that are a little more specific: contact solution, a dry shampoo. I cannot say enough about dry shampoo. Always travel with one. You get greasy when you travel. That's just the reality of things. Q-tips, toothpaste, texturizing spray, and a heat protectant. Another thing I never ever travel without is some type of curling iron. Like, these are my two go-tos. These are the ones I use all the time. This gives you a looser curl, and then this is a wand that gives me a more a tight curl. Anyway, it falls, but this is not a video about curling iron, so I won't go into details. The moral of the story is, when I travel, I hate using hotel hair dryers. So I typically like to shower at night, because that way I wash my hair, I sleep on it wet, I wake up, I might have to use the blow dryer a little bit to just finish it off, but then I curl my hair and I'm ready to go for the day. So because of that, I like to bring some sort of heat protectant or leave-in conditioner, which you saw in my travel case, to, you know, protect it from the heat, because I know I'll be heat styling it the following morning. Now, because I take a shower at night, that means that maybe when I come back from a full day of work, before we go out to dinner or something, I'll need to use that dry shampoo to, like, you know, just revive my hair a little bit. Put it in the roots, put it right here where things get greasy, where I touch it a lot from putting it behind my ears, and that can instantly refresh your hair. And when I curl my hair, I always use a texture spray just to, like, make it a little bit more voluminous, a little bit more bouncy. It sort of holds things in place along with your hairspray. Now, the hairspray I ran out of when I was in San Francisco, so I need to get a new one, but that is another thing that I always travel with. Okay, and lastly, this is gonna be a couple of things all rolled into one. For Christmas, I actually got this Clarisonic. It's in the shade Sea Breeze, and I just really loved the blue color. It is the Clarisonic Mia 2, so this is like their second iteration of the Clarisonic. They also have another one that's smaller, that's the Mia Fit. So I got this, and I finally found the perfect use for my baby away luggage. Some of these might still be available on the website. I'm not totally positive. I've been getting lots of comments on this video asking me if it was just a holiday thing. So I don't know if they're sold out or not. This is a little away travel case. So this is the same brand as my luggage that I love. This fits perfectly inside, as you can see, and I put the little face wash with it and travel with it to protect it, to preserve that long life. The reason I go through the hassle of packing this big device, and before that I had this little sort of a knockoff of the Foreo. It's like a silicone face washer from Amazon that's 40 bucks. I'll link it below too, because it was great. It just wasn't doing as much as I felt like the Clarisonic can do. Always travel with the same face washing device that I use every day at home, because when I travel, my skin tends to react. It's not in its natural environment. You know, you have different types of water wherever you travel, harder water, softer water. You're using, you know, maybe your travel products instead of maybe your go-to products that are staples on your bathroom counter. The idea when I travel for skincare is, Maggie, do everything that you can to keep your skin thinking that it's in the exact same environment. I always tend to pack the same serums I'm using, the same moisturizer I'm using at home, like try to keep everything as normal as possible. So that's why I go through the trouble of packing this and allowing it to take up a little bit more space. If you're a Clarisonic user, I wanted to point this out. I just got this set off of Clarisonic.com. I was watching a video by Tati actually, and she mentioned this, and she had a 15% off code. If that code is still active, I'm gonna link that below. She says that she gets no kickback off of it. It's just 15% off for people that watch her videos. And Ebates partners with Clarisonic. So my Ebates code is also in the link below. You can just get cash back plus money off. Anyway, if you have a Clarisonic, you must have brush heads to go on the Clarisonic, or else you're rendering it pretty useless. So this is just a sampler pack of the different brush heads. So you have the blue one is the deep pore brush head, the green one is the acne cleansing brush head, pink is the radiance brush head, and then black is the sensitive brush head. You're supposed to change these every 3 months, so this is gonna last me over a year because I already have a brush head on there. I thought this was a pretty good deal. I think that I ended up paying somewhere around $68, even though it's priced at $79, once I got the 15% off plus the cash back on Ebates. Plus it was free shipping. So I wanted to point this out to you right now if maybe you were in the market for new brush heads, because this is something that I always need to keep on backup, because then I couldn't use the device. Without mentioning every piece of clothing that is necessary to like live a life, that's pretty much all of the essentials that I travel with. So if you're interested in anything that I mentioned, I'll link everything in the description box below for you to check out in case maybe you want to purchase some of these so that they can become staples for you. And please, in the comments, leave anything else that you travel with routinely that you just can't live without, because I'm always looking at ways to modify my travel routine and my process to make it simpler or to take up less space in my bag. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.